Okay, so law applications is the same thing that we've been doing. So we're still going to use law of sines or law of cosines. We just have to draw the triangle and decide which one to use. Okay. So let's look at number 1. Juan and Ramelia are standing at a seashore 10 miles apart. The cosine is a straight line between them. Both of them can see a ship in the water. The angle between the cosine and line of the ship and Juan is 35, and the angle between cosine and line between the ship and Ramelia is 45 degrees. How far is the ship from Juan? So we want to draw our picture. So we have Juan, and we have Ramelia. Okay, so it tells me the cosine is a straight line, and that they are 10 miles apart. Okay. And they're both looking out here at a ship. Okay. So that'll complete our triangle. So Juan's looking at the ship, Ramelia's looking at the ship. Okay. So it tells me the angle between the coastline and the line between the ship and Juan. So coastline, line between him and the ship is 35. So this angle at Juan is 35. And then the angle between the coastline, so again here's our coastline, and the ship and Ramelia is 45. And we want to know how far is the ship from Juan. So ship to him is what we are finding. So that's our X. So, do I want to do law of sines or law of cosines? Sines. So I have 10, but 10 is across from the ship. Can I find the angle at the ship? Yes, because all my angles add to be 180. So I can do 35 plus 45 gives me 80, which means I have 100 degrees left for the angle at the ship. So now I have a side and the angle it's opposite from, so I can do law of sines. So 10 over sine of 100 equals, and I'm looking for X, and its opposite angle is 45. So X over sine of 45. Question on setting it up. Now we cross multiply. So we get X sine of 100 equals 10 sine of 45 and then what do I do to solve for X? Good. So divide by sine of 100. And then remember, you can type all that in your calculator. Make sure you are in degree mode. And hopefully you get 7.18. And what's our units? Miles. Good. Very good. Questions? Alright, let's look at number 2. So number 2 says Jack is on one side of a 200-foot wide canyon and Jill is on the other. Jack and Jill can both see the trail guide at an angle of depression of 60 degrees. How far are they from the trail guide? So we have Jack and we have Jill, and they're on opposite sides of this canyon. It tells me the canyon is 200 feet wide. And it tells me their angle of depression. So remember, they're looking out, so they're looking down at this trail guide over here. And it tells me both of their angle of depressions is 60 degrees. So Jack's is 60, Jill's is 60. And I want to know how far away they are from the trail guide. So how far away is Jill? How far away is Jack? What's the answer? Yeah, so my angle is 60, good. So if all of my angles are 60, what kind of triangle is this? Equilateral. So what does that mean about my sides? They're the same. So all of them are 200. Oh, just kidding, not miles, feet. Whew, it's a big king. Good. So that one we didn't have to do law of sines, law of cosines. You could and you get the same answer, but no point because we already know what it is. I also got 3. So 3, we've got Tom, Dave, and Hank are camping in their tents. The distance between Tom and Dave is 153 is what that should say. I know it got cut off. So 153. Tom and Hank are 201 feet, and then distance between Dave and Hank is 175. We want the angle between Tom, Dave, and Hank. So we have Tom, we have Dave, and we have Hank. And they're all camping in their tents. So the distance between Tom and Dave is 153. So from Tom to Dave is 153. From Tom to Hank is 201. And from Dave to Hank is 175. And I'm trying to find the angle between Tom, Dave, and Hank. So we follow those. So we go from Tom to Dave to Hank. So Tom, Dave, Hank is this angle here at Dave. So that's what I'm looking for. So on your quizzes, the question that was like this, a bunch of you started with the wrong side. So what the side that you want to, well, first, is it law of sines or cosines? Cosines, because we know all 3 sides. Good. So I know the formula says c squared equals a squared b squared, but again, those are just placeholders. So in this one, we've got t, d, and h. We don't even have a, b, and c. So I'm looking for angle D, so I have to start my equation, or my formula, with side little d. So in that one, that's 201. Okay? So 201 squared. So whatever angle you're looking for, you plug in the opposite side. That's your first. Okay? Now the other 2 doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I do 153 squared or 175 squared. We're going to get the same answer either way. So 153 squared plus 175 squared minus 2 times 153 times 175. And then cosine of D, that's what we're trying to find. And this one is our angle at Dave. So, in this one, we can't just type it all in the calculator because our variable is over there on the right side mixed in with all that stuff. So, we simplify each little piece. So, first we do the 201 squared. So that gives us 40,401. Okay. Then the next piece that we can do is adding those squareds. So 153 squared plus 175 squared, which gives me 54,034. Minus, and then I can do the multiplying next. So 2 times 153 times 175. And that gives me 53,550. And then I'm bringing down cosine of D. So now, if it was just a regular old equation, like this, 3 or 5 equals 2 minus 3x. That is what this is. It's just a regular old equation. Our numbers are just bigger, and we have this cosine in there. But that cosine D, that's what we're trying to get by itself first, so that we can do the inverse. So if we looked at this regular equation, what would I do first? Subtract 2. So we do the same thing in our big equation. We subtract this 54,034. Okay. And these steps are always the same. You always subtract first after you have simplified. So we get negative 13,633. Now, I've got negative 53,550 times cosine. Just like this, we would have 3 equals 3x. That's 3 times x. This is negative 53,000 yada yada times cosine. So you don't want to add it. A bunch of you are trying to add it, and I know it's because it's negative, but you're dividing because it's multiplication. So divide by negative 53,550. So we get this decimal here. So 0.2546. And then anytime you're finding an angle, whether it's law of sines, law of cosines, right triangle trig, whatever, you always do the inverse. So now we do inverse cosine on both sides. And then remember, your decimal is what goes inside. So if we type that in, second cosine of that answer, we get about 75.25 degrees. Question on that. And that's really the toughest. I mean, I feel like these are the toughest ones, solving the angle with law of cosines. Hopefully the rest of them aren't too bad, but I know this one's just weird because it has so many numbers. Alright, one more. Let's look at 4 together. Then I'll let y'all do some. So on number 4, we have 3 boats are at sea. Jenny 1, Jenny 2, and Jenny 3. The crew of Jenny 1 can see both Jenny 2 and Jenny 3. So we've got Jenny 1, Jenny 2, and Jenny 3. And it tells me the crew of Jenny 1 can see Jenny 2 and Jenny 3. So they're looking out and they can see Jenny 1 or Jenny 2 and Jenny 3. So then it tells me the angle between the line of sight to J2 and the line of sight to J3 is 45 degrees. So from J1 to J2 and J1 to J3 is 45. So my angle at J1 is 45. So then it tells me if the distance between J1 and J2 is 2 miles, so from J1 to J2 is 2 miles, and J1 to J3 is 4 miles, we're trying to find what's the distance between J2 and J3. So we're trying to find this side here. So, if I know two sides and the angle between, do we do law of sines or law of cosines? Cosines. Good. So, I know 45 is my angle. Across from it is my x. So, that's what I'm starting the formula with. So, x squared equals. And then again, it doesn't matter if you put 2 first or if you put 4 first, you get the same answer. So, 2 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 4. And then cosine of the angle, which is 45. And so this is one of the easier ones because our x squared is almost by itself, or our x is almost by itself, it just has that squared. We don't have any unknowns over here on the right, so we can just type it right on in. So 2 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 4, cosine of 45. And we get this, 8.686, etc. And then how do I get rid of a squared? You got it. So we square root both sides. So square root of our answer. And we get about 2.95. What's my units? Good, miles. Question.